I genuinely feel that Instagram and TikTok and these types of social media platforms are used to fill a God sized hole within the soul of humanity. They're distractions that limit our fullest potential as human beings here on Earth. They aren't necessarily serving us, yet they are likely hurting us in a way and possibly damaging our self esteem. Hi, I'm Jules, and welcome to my channel. How do you feel about social media? Does it ever get you down? Does it distract you from more important things in your life? Are you curious at all about deactivation? Let me know in the comment section and let's talk about it, because it might actually change your life for the very best to step away from social media for a while. It sure has changed mine. And if you value this content, please subscribe and stick around because I'd love to have you here. I deactivated my social media pages 170 days ago, which was 6 months ago. My biggest reason for doing this will be shared in another video coming up, but for now, some of the results of my deactivation will be shared here. So I did this with the intention of realigning myself on the path that's meant for me. I chose to discard this distraction, and in doing so, I've experienced a divine alignment so powerful that I now just smile and nod at it. I give an inner wink to our Creator, knowing that our Creator loves us, has an epic sense of humor, and genuinely just wants what's best for me. And since then, I have devoted my time to my path, to my purpose, my mission and reason for being here on Earth. I've become closer to God, and I now dedicate more time to expanding my spiritual connection. I've made friends who align more with my values, who I don't feel like I have to dumb myself or dim myself down to be around. And I moved to a whole new place on Earth and started completely fresh. I get to work with rescue animals, and I'm so genuinely happy with my life in my new location. And I also no longer question my own worth. And I no longer feel invisible. I feel chosen because I choose me every day, and God has chosen me always and forever. Since my deactivation, God started leading my life because I've allowed it. I surrendered, and now actual goals and dreams of mine have come true. Visions I've seen have been made into actual reality. Paths have intertwined, and vital connections have appeared and aligned in my life. My life has become more of an immaculately orchestrated journey, and there's far more to come. I tuned out to tune in, and it's been one of the best things I've ever done for myself, and I highly recommend it. The distraction was eliminated, and with it, a massive sense of relief came. I could write a novel. A blank page has opened up to an entirely new story, not just a new chapter. It's so much greater than just a new chapter. The theme, the genre, the setting has changed. The plot has thickened to a delectable texture. Characters have evolved or been written off completely, and cameos have become featured. In the stories of my lifetimes, I feel like this one shines, and I feel it viscerally. I sense it energetically. I'm encapsulated within the trust that I feel towards this vibrational cue from God, this knowing within me, as if the Creator has come to the forefront of my world with a clapperboard, holding a gaze centered within the eye of my mind to yell action. And I perform. I play the role of a lifetime, myself. And the distraction from that, the illusion, the tragic desperation that takes place inside of these spaces where we scroll, DM, and dim ourselves down to try to prove our worth, that space is the void. The enemy cannot create, yet it surely can compel. And I acknowledge that a lot of this compulsion takes place through social media. And that compulsion can destroy, or at the very least, distract or derail one from their ultimate destiny, their drive, their dreams, their visions they're meant to fulfill here, because that drive is far more than a dream. It's a calling. It is destiny. And the enemy doesn't want us to fulfill our callings. It wants to devastate our destinies through the alluring desires sent to block our paths. The distraction of a social media app, the songs of sirens, or the quench of a thirst trap. These are compulsory illusions meant to entangle and entrance. They will not lead you closer to God or your mission, your ultimate purpose, your passion, your highest self even. They are roadblocks that you, yourself, will ultimately need the willpower and the devotion to bypass and dismiss. Some of the biggest favors we will ever do for ourselves come with a simple click: an unfollow, an unfriend, an unsubscribe, and a block. Or a step further than that, a deactivation. If you ever feel a call to dabble in deactivation, to dismiss that distraction, to stop the scroll, and to realize that life isn't happening on a screen, and true love doesn't begin with a swipe or online, yet it ignites in real life by the divine, by being in the right place at the right time, here's your sign. Here's your invite. Hi again. This is just a quick edit that I am adding after I film the video, because I want to do a follow-up video to this. I want to do a part 2 to this video, going into a lot more detail and kind of get into the specifics of how long did it take for my life to completely and drastically change after eliminating the social media apps that I had. I had Facebook and Instagram. Instagram was kind of the thorn in my side. I was never active on TikTok, so that one's irrelevant to me, but it might not be irrelevant to you. But I really do want to talk about how long it took me to, or how long it took for things to very drastically shift. Spoiler alert, 3 weeks. It took less than 3 weeks, actually, for me to be invited to completely move locations. And I want to go into details about where I'm at now and what I kind of get to do on a day-to-day basis that really, really does kind of make social media feel like a thing of the past for me, at least right now. And if you all have any questions, please ask in the comments, and I can talk about it in the follow-up video in the part 2 to this. But I do think that more details about how genuinely and wildly life-changing my life experience has been since deactivating these social medias is really valid and important to get into and discuss further. I very strongly believe, like I already said, I acknowledge that social media is becoming a detriment to humanity and society, and I think my personal story with social media and the deactivation and how beautifully my life has changed and my timeline has completely shifted. It's a whole new world, truly, and I feel so grateful for this, and I'm really looking forward to making a part 2, going into more details and really expressing the peace and the gratitude that I feel now being away from the black hole, the void that is Instagram and social medias like that. So thank you so much for tuning in, and please leave any questions or comments that you have below. Can you relate to this? Have you deactivated? Are you interested in deactivating? Let me know. I would love to hear from you, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks again for being here. Bye.